Insurance isn't one size fits all, and shopping for it shouldn't feel like squeezing into something that just doesn't fit. That's why drivers have enjoyed Progressive's Name Your Price tool for years. With the Name Your Price tool, you tell them what you want to pay, and they show you options that fit your budget. Enough hunting for discounts, trying to calculate rates, and tinkering with coverages. Maybe you're picking out your very first policy, or maybe you're just looking for something that works better for you and your family. Either way, they make it simple to see your options. No guesswork, no surprises. Ready to see how easy and fun shopping for car insurance can be? Visit progressive.com and give the Name Your Price tool a try. Take the stress out of shopping and find coverage that fits your life on your terms. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
¿Quieres mejor internet? Cox Internet de 300 megas tiene las velocidades rápidas y confiables que buscas. Perfecto para streaming y gaming y trabajar desde casa. Yeah. Todo por solo $45 al mes cuando agregas Cox Mobile. Incluye equipo de Wi-Fi y garantía de precio de 2 años en tu plan. Yeah. No esperes. Cámbiate hoy a Cox. Requiere Cox Mobile Gig Unlimited. Garantía de precio no incluye impuestos y cargos. Velocidad de datos móviles se reduce después de 20 gigas al mes.
Hey, I'm a medium, and this podcast is for those who wish to understand the wonderful world of spirit. Where do we go when we die? I'll share stories of mine as a medium and other mediums in our journeys, plus you will hear real-life client readings so that you can know without any doubt that your loved ones of spirit are around you all the time. I'm Jen, and this is the Singing Medium Podcast.
Whoa. Did you guys watch the Water? Just kidding, I didn't. I'm being dramatic. Haven't watched it yet, but that's what this podcast is going to be about because I realize it's Thursday and tomorrow is podcast day and I didn't have anything to talk about. So I wanted to kind of watch the documentary first and I didn't. So there's that. But it's interesting because the reason why I am going to talk about it anyways is because yesterday, I have a little story. Yesterday I was going through, Chad came in the house. He's like, oh, here's an old journal I found in the garage that had come from the car. And I'm like, oh, what's in this? So I just started flipping through it. It's like the hours I don't like of the day, 3 to 5. So I usually scroll TikTok mindlessly or whatever and just get through the time before dinner and after working and all that good stuff. And I'm going through my notes and it has like a bunch of random readings that I've done. And I have like 20 journals. I don't know if you collect journals, but I collect journals, and a lot of them, I would say like 90% of my journals that I do collect are like mishmash. There's like 10 pages clean and then 5 pages of readings and notes and scribbles and random sketches that I've drawn and scribbles and doodles and all these things that come through in a reading. And I have no idea what they don't make any sense to me at all after the reading, and I forget all about them. So when I do a reading, side note, I don't remember anything that I've said. Okay, especially, I mean, if you've had a reading with me before, especially mediumship, you'll understand that if I have dementia in a reading, like if your grandma had dementia and she comes through in your reading, I get dementia for like 30 seconds. Now, that doesn't seem like a long time, but it is when you're trying to do a professional reading for someone. So, by the way, that's called clairsentience. Yes, that is the feeling one, getting dementia. Like, now I know how people with dementia feel. Like, it's not a fun thing. Like, you don't remember where you are, what you just said 5 minutes ago. I mean, I'm sure obviously it's a lot worse than me doing it through the spirit world, but yeah, it's a lot. And speaking of dementia, I wasn't expecting this, so I'm going to give you guys a little reading here. So, see, this is why I didn't know what I was going to do, because I never know what's going to happen when spirit comes through. So I do, and obviously this would be for someone who's listening, okay? So I have a grandmother here who had dementia, obviously. She's holding a bag of chips. Now, I know it sounds random, and by the way, nothing is random. There's no coincidences. But she's holding a bag of chips, and she's handing them to you. She belongs to a female. I guess all of my listeners are mostly female, I'm assuming. And she says, you are trying to lose weight, go to the gym, change your diet, and I think you're fasting or something. There's some kind of Ayurvedic Is that what it is? Ayurveda, when you are, it's a kind of, I don't even know what it is. I feel so silly talking about it. But she says you're trying something new with your diet, and like you are going to have a moment where you really want these chips, and it's okay to eat the chips, but you're going to go through this whole thing, and it's okay to eat the chips. But this woman with dementia, you guys were very close to each other. I believe that she is with someone. It might be your mom. So her daughter, so it would be your mother in spirit as well with this woman with dementia, and she would have had cancer, so she would have been sick. She's talking about you cleaning out your car recently, like you just cleaned out your car, like today or yesterday. And by the way, it's Friday when I'm sending this out. So, and you don't have a fancy car, she says, but the grandmother with dementia and your mother had cancer, and there's an anniversary of one of their passings coming up very soon. Like it might have even be like tomorrow or this weekend. Easter's a big deal. So I feel like one of them passed. Grandma was religious. So grandma would have gone to church, deep in her faith. She's like, when the collection plate comes around at church on Sunday and you want to put some $5 in there, she would always put like $20 in there because she wanted to make sure that was going to the right place and that people were fed and not hungry, and always dug deep in her pocket. She said, even if she didn't maybe have like a whole bunch of money on the side waiting there, it was always like enough to give to the church. So she was really big in her faith. She probably was one of those women who worked volunteering. What is that called when the group of women. See, when I have dementia, I can't think of the words. So you might be laughing like, whoa, Jen, you can't remember any of the words you want to say. It's because I have dementia. I'm actually working in this grandmother's dementia. So I can't think of what it's called, auxiliary, I want to say, a group of women who volunteer their time to make sandwiches. Like she's like, there's egg salad, I'm busy making some sandwiches for a funeral. And so she would be part of that giving sense in the church, in her faith, because she wanted to help and serve her community in the church. Okay. Interesting. She's also wearing a blue, like not a pantsuit, but like a long skirt, like a midline skirt, and like a blue blazer looking thing and a blouse. But it looks like she's dressed for an occasion. So on church, she would dress up, and she's like, I wouldn't wear no dang jeans to church, she says. And again, I'm reading in dementia land. Okay. So, if this reading sounds weird, it's because it is, because I'm locked in the dementia mindset of this grandma. There's something about winning, she says, for you, like you're going to win something or be very successful at an endeavor you're about to do. Now, a couple names coming through are Joanne, could be Joe and then Anne. Sometimes they come in super fast together, and there's Joe and an Anne, or they go together as Joanne. Okay. I'm just trying to see if she has anything else to do. Anything else to say? So, did you hear what I just said? She had anything else to do? So she was always busy, like always doing something, but it was always of a giving nature. Like, I'm gonna play bridge with the girls. I'm gonna go on a Sunday and help the community. She was very charitable. This woman, like one of the most charitable women I've ever come in contact with in the spirit world. So, if this makes sense for you at all, this is kind of detailed, and the main thing would be, she was working in the church a lot. And a lot of this 90% of this evidence has to fit with you, not just like one or two things, just so you know. Okay. So if this woman belongs to you, all of this criteria makes sense to you, this evidence makes sense to you, you can reach out to me, DM me on elevate.hersoul on Instagram. That is the main way to get in touch with me. You can also email me, info@elevatehersoul, .com, because, oh my gosh, I'm so in the dementia. I have to move this lady out of the way because I want to talk to you guys about the snake stuff. Okay, I'm going to close down for 1 second, just get her to leave because she really wants to talk to you. And again, I'm not sharing this with you so that y'all get a reading. I don't need that. I'm actually not even doing them unless someone reaches out. It's not even a service that I offer right now, but I needed to get this out to you because she really cares about you, loves you, and she wants you to know she's supporting you and that your mom is safe and with her. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go here. I have my Google open. I've got my Googs open, and let me just go back quickly. Again, I have not watched this documentary. Okay. it's trending on Twitter apparently. And the way I saw it, or how I found out about it, again, still haven't watched it. The way I found out about it was on TikTok. So, and I feel like they're clamping down on TikTok. Like there was like 20 videos of this documentary clips the other day. Now there's hardly any. So I think they're just sort of trying to clamp down on it. I mean, again, here's the thing. Here's my stance on this. A conspiracy theory, and I've talked about this before in past episodes, is like conspiracy theory is not a conspiracy theory. It's actually psychic information 90% of the time. If someone's being an idiot and just spreading rumors and making shit up, then okay, fine. That's a conspiracy theory. But if you look back on all of these quote unquote conspiracy theories over the past 2+ years, they mostly come true. And if you also look at the correlation between what I've predicted and other psychics have predicted and the conspiracy theory, they're the same freaking thing. Okay. Now, again, I get things in psychically, obviously, because I'm highly psychic, highly tuned in. Sometimes I wish I wasn't, because the things that I predict are, sometimes can be fearful. And I always remind you to keep your wits about you and stay on the inside of your body, not the outside of your body when you're seeing something like this or hearing something that frightens you, because your soul knows that you're always okay. Okay. So going back to this notebook I got here, my handy dandy notebook, I remember this is probably from the second plant ceremony, but not ayahuasca. I kind of did mushrooms on purpose, consciously. I did it consciously. I don't go, hey guys, let's party and have some mushrooms. I don't do that. Some people can. Hey, if that's what you want to do, go for it. I do it consciously. So there's a reason I'm doing it. I want to expand my consciousness. I want to, and it's not like, oh, I'm better than you because no, this is just how I choose to experience the plants. And again, if you guys told me like 10 years ago, Jen would be doing shrooms and ayahuasca, I would have laughed in your face with my short boy hair. I would have been like, what are you talking about? You have no idea what you're talking about. It didn't make sense to me at the time because I wasn't there yet. So if you ever hear me talking about plant medicine and stuff and you're like, what is this woman always talking about plant medicine? Why is she always talking? Because this is just part of my journey now. And it doesn't have to be obviously your journey. It's mine. So going back to my notebook again. So this is the second, I think this was the second plant mushroom ceremony that I did with a friend of mine. And I just looked back at a couple pages later and it was like very strong intentions. Like my intention was I want to experience unconditional love and bliss. So I wanted to feel the way my soul feels. I wanted to get into my soul. So some of the things that came through there, and I didn't even it wasn't even like a big deal. When I got this information and I'm journaling afterwards at like 1 a.m., I didn't even think anything of it. Like there was not really a context to it. I wasn't like, my mind wasn't like blown, like, oh my God, snakes. Like that wasn't even on the radar. I was like, snakes. Yeah. Okay. Snakes, whatever. That reminds me of Home Alone. Snakes. I think I've heard that name before. Snakes. By the way, Home Alone is my favorite movie. Yeah. So snake. Okay, here's what it says. You ready for this? This is what I wrote down. Snake in people. They hang on to pain. Injected with a virus. It's okay though. It's not very poetic, but I'll read that again. There's a snake in people. They hang on to their pain. So when I dissect this in my own context, in my own claircognizant context, what I mean by this, what Spirit was trying to tell me, what the plant was trying to tell me, is that those who are RV'd, which is fine, it's your life. There's a different vibrational currency somewhere that people who choose not to be V'd have like a different mindset, obviously, right? I'm not saying one is more spiritual than the other. I'm not saying that at all. It's just a different wavelength they tap into. I don't know. I don't want to sound like I'm not trying to say something rude, if that makes sense. But obviously people who are very spiritual and meditate are not immune to viruses. We're not immune to COVID. We're not immune to these things. A lot of us maybe have less fear, if that makes sense. I think especially if you work with plants, like there's like, I'm not saying I'm fearless or I don't have any fear. I'm a human being, so I'm going to have fear. But with this, my choice was like, nope, something's weird with this. This is super weird. Like people are like, well, maybe you should get what's wrong? You have all these other vaccinations. Yeah, I know. But this one, I'm like, ooh, this one just felt super, super off to me. So I'm waiting. It's all good. But it's like, almost like it's pain and fear kind of go hand in hand sometimes. Right. And this virus or this energy is somehow associated with. So like, I'll give you an example of being in an emotional pain, right? So people, myself included, hold on to subconscious traumas and fears and things that have happened in the past, and they carry it inside their body. Okay. That's why in the, when the pandemic hit, and I've spoken about this before, is that we all sort of freaked out and maybe we gained weight. And for me, it wasn't gaining weight because I ate too much bread, because I didn't bake the bread. But I was very depressed for like the first month or so. I remember getting like not in the shower, and I don't want to get dressed, and I feel like crap and all that good stuff. You remember that very vividly. But what it did was it brought up the traumas for everyone. It brought up the trauma. And some people dealt with it in a different way, and some people chose to sit with it, look at it, heal it, get help, whatever. Like I went through this whole thing where I'm like, I don't think I want to be here anymore in this life. Like I went through all the thoughts. So, if sometimes when you're very tuned into the psychic realms and you can pick up energy, and it can be terrifying. So for me, receiving all this information back then, it was like, whoa, brought up the trauma, my fear, and all of the stuff came up, and I gained weight. So it all went mostly into my stomach and in also my hips. So that's what a lot of us did, right? Is we just had the trauma sort of awaken inside of us, and we either went on a spiritual journey or we went down a really dark hole, or maybe both at the same time. And all of our stuff, we gained weight, we lost weight. I don't know. Everyone has their own personal journey about back in the 2020. So yeah, it brought up pain. So there's some kind of correlation. I'm not quite sure what Spirit's getting at. There's some kind of correlation between pain and what's going on with this. So snake and people, they hang on to pain. They're injected with a virus. It's okay though. Like I was like, why is it okay though? Like, well, how is this okay? Like, I literally wrote, it's okay though, at the end of it. Okay. The next sentence is, you do a dance with those who you meet. Even bad experiences are here to help you grow. Okay. So you've heard that before, but I remember being like doing a dance with people in my past who have caused me a lot of pain, and it was like a dance. You're just doing a dance. It's all love. Here's some more notes. It's all love, and you'll be good after life. Then again, I wrote down snake. Then I love what I wrote down here. Dance with your fear and darkness. Dance. There was a lot of dancing happening when I was in ceremony. A lot of dancing. But it was like, not the dance where you're like awkwardly moving your shoulder and tapping your foot and like, I'm cool. I don't know how to dance. It was like freedom, pure free love. If you ever went to an ecstatic dance event, it was kind of like that, where people are like high on life or high on something else, and they're just like, whoa, and nobody gives a crap, what you look like or how you're dancing or whatever. So when I got the book open yesterday, I was like, oh my God, the snake is written down twice. Right. And I was like, and I put like everything together. I was like, oh my gosh, snake. So then it was this yesterday. And then all of a sudden we come across this documentary. So the documentary, and I'm on Google here, the documentary proposes that COVID-19 is not a virus at all, but rather snake venom put into the water supply by a probably satanic cabal. And I'm like, I didn't know that. I knew it was like, there is a quote unquote conspiracy theory that COVID-19 is not a virus. Now, I don't want to make anyone upset. It's probably a virus. It's probably something horrible that they, whether they did it on purpose or not, doesn't matter. It's out there. It got out there. People got sick. People died. People crossed over. I've read for people who have passed from COVID. It's not a nice thing. So I'm not downplaying this, and I'm not saying it's not real. I'm just reading what Google is saying about this documentary. But the snake venom, right, put into water supply. Again, I feel bad I haven't watched the whole thing. Yeah, that snake blood was put into the vaccines. Like, that's crazy to me. I'm like, what? And I'm just reading some tweets here. I'm not even, yeah. So here's a quote on Twitter too. It says by Dr. Brian Artis, when I say that they have lied to you about everything in relationship to COVID, they even lied about the viral part of COVID. Could you ever imagine that? Like, you know, it's like, yeah, it's a kind of a weird one. It's kind of a weird one, but you could go like symbolic with this snake. Like if you look at, there's some videos or like comparisons on the internet of like the Vatican having snakes in it, stuff like that. The snake represents certain things. So it could also be symbolic. I'm not actually claiming and agreeing with this, that if you put snake venom in, that'd be a lot of snake venom that you'd have to do. So we'll do part 2 here where I actually watched the documentary, but I wanted to read the tweets because I'm like, this is like a big trending thing right now. Yeah, so even, hold on a second. Even there's a tweet about putting out an urgent alert based on what I know will be revealed Monday evening. Do not drink any form of municipal water. Like, do not drink restaurant water. And I'm reading a tweet here from a health ranger. Don't eat soup made from city water. Don't consume any beverage made with ice from the city water. Do not eat restaurant food using sauces made of city water. Yeah, it's so it says rainwater, distilled water, and well water would be far safer resources at this point. Like, it just goes on and on and on. And the cool thing was, I have seen this before on the internet. So there's another tweet. Original GA Peach says, a few months ago, they were sending out home tests. People ran them under their faucet water and would get positive results. Yeah. And she's like, watch the water help me understand how that could happen. Demons are real and the attack is real. This is God versus evil. So I agree with some of this in a spiritual, energetic sense, because we are in a spiritual war. Whether you believe that or not, we are in the midst of a spiritual war. Okay. Light versus dark, good versus evil. But again, that's a human construct, is good versus evil, right? So, you got to really tune into that, because if you think we're all made of light and dark, right? We have some toxic traits and we have some beautiful traits, you know? We have one side that is beautiful and to people, and we show our good side. And then when someone triggers us and the people don't know in public, like, we can have this really crazy side come out, you know what I mean? Right? So it is real. And demons, you know, we can quote on that. Again, I have actually seen demon energies in my paranormal work and in my early days as a medium, but again, I now looking back on that, I've talked about before, that I really think that demons are just basically your shadow energy that have manifested for you to look at, so that, you know, you need to just realize how powerful your thoughts and your energy are. Like, people who have, a lot of people here, again, I'm not trained in this, but a lot of people in my experience who are diagnosed with bipolar, some kind of, you know, mental health terms, that, you know, this kind of thing, they are very prone to, or they are in the energy of seeing quote unquote demons and dark entities. And, you know, there are things out there that can influence you. I think Phil Good a long time ago said in a video, like, if you're driving and you are checking your phone every 5 seconds, that's probably a demonic entity. I mean, you know, we got to take this with a grain of salt. I have been scratched by previous things. There is a demon called, there are demonic entities that are called incubus and succubus are like the word for me. Like, I learned from another mentor that those are the absolute worst, most horrible demons that there is, and they're very hard to get rid of, but you got to take it with a grain of salt. Okay, use your logic, use your intuition, use this kind of stuff. I don't want to get too much into the symbolism, but just feel into this, right? Like, we're having a battle with ourselves. You know, there's a battle going on, like, freedom fighters and people who think they're crazy, and the government versus us, and all this kind of thing. So it shows up in different experiences in different realms, this kind of thing. But yeah, it's very interesting to read these tweets right now. Yeah, I'm not going to read that one. something about Donald Trump, but we're not going to talk about this. Yeah. Again, I'm not making light of this. I know this is a real thing, and it doesn't matter what I believe. If I believe like it started from China or Africa, if you go back to predictions of 2020 that I did back in March, there's a song called Africa. I think there's one about a monkey. I'm not sure, but when I get these, sometimes I don't know. They're like, just share it, and it'll make sense later. And I'm like, all right. So some people obviously say that it's an absurd conspiracy, like making fun of it. They're not intelligent, and I'm just putting out both sides here. I'm not saying I agree with it or not, because I haven't watched it, but I think it's important to know that I received some information about snakes in people twice in this page here, and I didn't know what it was until I had this major like light bulb moment yesterday when I heard about this. Yeah, it's I'm trying to see if there's any more tweets. Some people are saying it's an insane COVID conspiracy video. Yeah, and asking Twitter to crack it down. Yeah. So, I mean, it is what it is, and I hate even that saying, but just so you know, whenever a psychic or someone who is very tapped in receives something like that, like the snake stuff, there's a truth to it. There's a spiritual truth to it, because if it's coming from source and the higher consciousnesses, whatever you want to call them, divine, whatever, there's no lying there. They can't make things up. And when someone receives it, you know it to be true, because again, you could argue that if someone's doing mushrooms, they're like hallucinating. Like, yes and no. Like, I'm super careful how I work with the consciousness, and my outcomes are usually pretty good. And I know there's no lying. Like, this, like, spirit cannot lie. If it comes from the divine, it cannot lie. That's the rule. It just, a mediumship in your life, and part of the training is to like discern, is this spirit or is this something else? Is this me or is this spirit? Like, there's a bunch of training that you would have to go through in your life experiences, and perhaps taking some classes in the future. I don't know, but if it's the divine, it's not a lie. Right? So I was like, kind of wanted to share that with you, like, whoa, there's a connection there, and everything is connected. Everything is connected. Everything is. So I'm going to go watch it at some point this weekend, and I'll get back to you. But from what I've seen of the clips, I'm like, oh my. And this guy's name is Stu Peters, I think. Is it QAnon? I'm not sure how to say that, but yeah. So just, if you want to, go watch it and see what you think. Like, is it crazy? Is it conspiracy? Is it something else? Is there some truth in it? Like, how do you discern truth in your own body? Do you get your arm hair stand up? Do you get a knowing? Do you go, oh my God? Do you have like this whoa moment where your eyeballs get super big? Like, pay attention to your bodily cues when you listen to this, and see, like, does it resonate with you? Could this be something that's actually happening? Like, again, I'm just being silly girl here, but they did in the past, they have in the past poisoned water. I'm just saying, they put fluoride in the water, and whatever your stance is on fluoride, I don't, maybe I shouldn't say this, I might get in trouble, but I don't allow my kids to have fluoride at the dentist. Once I learned about fluoride and did some research on it, but I mean, again, everything is your own choice, and nothing's judgment or like, we all do what we do, right? And maybe sometimes we change our mind, and maybe sometimes we just change your mind. Like, it's okay to change your mind, about things, and give yourself permission. I don't know why I'm saying this, but give yourself permission to change your mind in any situation. Like, maybe you thought it was good to do something, and then now you're changing your mind, going, oh, wait a minute, now it's not good anymore. Like, you're allowed to change your mind. It's cool. And yeah, I think that's all I want to say about that. But the notes were pretty cool. It's like, dance with your darkness, my friends. Like, dance with your darkness. Everything is just love. And even like going through here, I might read you a couple more things. This is super cool. So it's love. Everything is just love. I wrote down that they told me that my root was blocked, my root chakra, 100%. And then a couple months after this ceremony, I did ayahuasca, and they unblocked my root chakra with that sexual trauma healing that I didn't know I had. Everything is connected, right? Every money is connected to your worth. Like, if you have like $2,000 in the bank, do you think you're only worth $2,000? Like, what? No. Like, So working on your money stuff. Working on my money stuff came up. Like, your body is your house. Like, you chose your house. Your body is your house. Like, you are inside your body, your house. Like, you need to love. And you are no thing. You are no thing. Like Joe Dispenza says, and this is what I got there. It's like, you are no thing. Not nothing. You're not nothing. You're no thing. You're no mind. You're no body. You're no thing. And maybe you're like, what the hell is Jen talking about? But again, if you have an opportunity to experience some consciousness plant or some awakening of some kind, or a really, really, really good meditation, you might remember this stuff. This is just stuff that you remember. But cool thing about plants is you get to experience it. I don't think it's hallucination. I actually experienced this, right? So, say what you will. Say what you will. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to leave you guys with that. And I did come up with something to talk about. I was like, oh my God, what am I going to talk about? So that is sort of like this cool connection that I made with the snakes. Snakes. I heard that name, snakes, before. But yeah, go watch the documentary, Watch the Water. Stu Peters. I believe his name is Stu, like S-T, like stew that you eat. Yeah. Yeah, it's I like conspiracy theories, quote unquote conspiracy theories, because people get all riled up and crazy. Like, guys, it's okay. Just let this news come up. Let it be what it is. It's gonna be okay. Everything is going to be okay. Promise. Even with the crazy things I'm predicting, it's gonna be okay. All right. I will see you guys next Friday. All right.
The Fall Line is a true crime podcast covering the coldest cases in the southeastern United States and occasionally beyond. We focus on the missing persons, the unsolved murders, and the unidentified does that don't get media attention. Empathetic and intensively researched, The Fall Line will take you on deep dives into unsolved cases that you've never heard of and make you wonder why you haven't. Find us wherever you listen to podcasts.